Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Objectively Bad podcast. My name is Standman Dan, as I am standing today, and I'm here with my co-host Chad. How are we doing, Chad?
It's good. I like Standman Dan.
Yeah.
You guys didn't get to see it, but like a minute prior to this, me and Dan are chit-chatting. Obviously, like we didn't post last week, so we were chatting for a little longer. He was sitting the whole time. Dan steps back from his chair. And then I just see the camera start panning up with no warning. And now Dan's standing. Dan, why are you standing?
I'm standing because health is important, dare I say.
Yeah.
I think that my hip joints are not what they used to be when I was 5 years old, and sitting all day, every day for many years has not been fucking kind to me. So I'm
when
standing
you weren't
to help with that.
6'17".
Yes, exactly. I bought some new shoes. I can try and get them in camera.
Get him in camera. Yeah, that works.
They're
You kind of see it.
Yeah, they're running shoes that actually generally hurt my leg doing that.
What brand are they?
So I have
New Balance.
No, they're Brooks running shoes. So I am, for context, I am extremely flat-footed, and I also have big, wide feet. So
same.
I need to buy some. I bought not custom, but like Brooks is a brand of running shoes that's like makes wide shoes, and you can like have like better arch support in them, basically.
Nice.
So I've bought a pair of them before, but I've used those like for like outdoor walking. They're like black ones, and I bought these ones for like indoor treadmill use. So gonna get into doing walks on the treadmill more often because I don't get as many steps in as I really should be.
This guy doesn't get out.
And I need to be, more healthy in that sense because not good for you to be sitting all day. And I think leading up to GTA 6 coming out next year, it'd be good for me to get healthy because this is not a joke. I have been having nightmares, not super often, but I've had a few.
No.
I've been having nightmares that when GTA 6 comes out, I'll be sick or be dealing with bad headaches because that's why we didn't upload last week. I was having migraines for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
So I've been having nightmares that when GTA 6 comes out, I'll be too sick to work and I'll fuck up that opportunity. So I've been getting more concerned about my health recently due to that. So this is part of it. Another part of it is that I've ordered some blue light blocking glasses, 2 pairs actually.
Nice.
I ordered 1 pair that is more just like the typical like orange tinted glasses that helps block blue light just throughout the day. And the other pair is called True Dark, which is like really intensely dark blue light blocking glasses. I think they also block green light or like 80% of green light. So if you wear them at night, it's meant to like really make it seem like it's nighttime even when looking at screens so you can get more sleepy because I have a lot of trouble with sleep. And they're both aviators, so I'm going to have orange tinted glasses that look like this.
Nice.
So instead of wearing these in the pod, I can wear some orange ones, which does fit my brand. So there is that.
True. Dan, I got a question for you.
No.
So the fuck. Okay. I don't know how to move on from this.
You have to phrase it as a statement, and I will tell you whether
with these glasses, the true blue or whatever, I don't fucking remember what they're called anymore. You won't be able to see plants. They'll sneak up on you because you can't see green light, right? And they're green. So plants are gonna just don't fuck with plants because then they'll send plant assassins and you won't see them and they will kill you.
Thank you for the warning. I'll make sure to be careful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll stay vigilant.
Donate to the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fake plants are better though. Get those. They're easier to take care of.
The more plastic, the better.
They don't die on you. Exactly. More plastic, the better. Oh, I actually saw yesterday on TikTok, there's a YouTuber, like a engineer scientist YouTuber that's been working for years to create the first solar-powered plastic to fuel converter.
Okay. Sorry, I had to do the math. I had to... Okay.
So there's a process. It's called like plastic hydrolysis. I've got it wrong. Someone can correct me. Basically, turning plastic into fuel for cars. Into cool. Petrol, diesel, I don't know which form it is, but some sort of fuel. It has been a thing for like decades, but the reason why it hasn't been put out in mainstream is because it's really expensive to make, and probably because the government assassinates people who talk about it.
Sure.
But this YouTuber, don't remember his name, sorry, but you can search it up. He's
already been killed.
Of course. He out on like this fucking outdoor shed. He has built this giant machine that is basically a solar-powered version of this process where he can put in plastic waste and turn out fuel. And recently, he did the first live stream or recording check of doing this on camera. So he had a car, had it completely on empty, wouldn't start, and then he took his fuel that he made from plastic, put it into the car, and it worked. So
That's pretty sweet.
his goal as an individual doing this, not as a part of a lab or whatever, is to one day make this the standard, or at least one of the standard ways to get fuel in the world, so that we can get rid of plastic waste. Because if you're not that informed of the environment,
it's a great way to recycle it.
Plastic is like one of the only things humans create that we can't get rid of. Like, it just doesn't.
Yeah, that shit like doesn't degrade.
Doesn't degrade at all.
I mean, to be fair, it's like you're getting rid of plastic waste, great. You're turning it into fumes that go into the air, which is like,
well,
not great, but you could argue we're doing it anyway, so you might as well get rid of one issue.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So he sent his fuel to a lab and got it tested and peer reviewed. And they actually found out that while it's still, fumes, it's still bad for the environment, it's actually cleaner than a regular fuel that we currently use. Surprisingly.
That's cool.
So it is a little bit better. It also gets rid of plastic. It's cheap.
Okay.
So all good things, really.
I'm a big fan of the idea of hydrogen powered cars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen anything about this. Look, electric is great. There are issues with electric of like, okay, well, how do you get the electricity? Because a lot of times that electricity still just comes from burning coal. You also have like, you have to, charging takes a long time, whereas gas is like, a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
You also have like, well, if you have to charge at your house, like, it's kind of like, well, if you're poor, you can't. I can't. I live in a townhouse. I don't have a charging station. And whatever. But hydrogen is really cool because feasibly it'll come in liquid form. You just have to have hydrogen pumps. I think they've started doing this in places. It's not very widespread, but like, I think there's some spots in California that like have hydrogen pumps, and like there are hydrogen powered cars. It's, I think, roughly the same price as gas. I think it maybe takes like a little bit longer to pump, but we're talking like 5 minutes instead of 2.
Yep.
Versus electric, like the fastest chargers are like 30 minutes. And obviously it's hydrogen. It's just like, there's like no fumes. There's no toxic fumes. It's just like air.
Yep.
So
that would be cool.
That could be cool.
That'd
the
be
plastic
that'd
thing
be
is
good.
really sweet though. I've seen when I was in college, someone made a, so 3D printers.
Yep.
This person made a device that would turn plastic water bottles into 3D printer filament. So you can recycle like a 2 liter of Coke kind of thing, like a bottle, which is pretty cool. It worked pretty well. Made a bunch of guitar picks, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm all for like reusing plastic because there's fucking so much of it, and it just doesn't biodegrade like at all.
No, if we don't find a way to get rid of it, thousands of years from now, when everything from humanity is gone apart from the pyramids, there'll be plastic everywhere, baby.
Or classic answer: shoot it into the sun.
Yeah, that'll
big
work.
fan of the shoot it into the sun theory. It's stupid and won't work that well, but big fan.
Or just shoot it into outer space in general. Just let it fucking coagulate out there.
Sure. You gotta really shoot it far though for it to not come back at us.
Or hot take, put more of it in the ocean. There's already a lot in there.
True.
What's a bit more? Hey,
what's a little more, right?
What about the Mariana Trench? It's like 10,000 meters deep in the ocean.
Yeah.
Why don't we just stuff it down there, eh?
Just put it down there.
Sounds like
we can't get there.
Out of sight, out of mind. Oh no, we can. James Cameron did.
Oh fuck, you're right. Yeah.
It went to
Well,
the bottom.
I'm not James Cameron.
Yeah. Or how about this?
James Cameron can go swim in his fucking sea of plastic.
Have you seen those like cave diving videos?
Yeah.
where like people will just like willingly go into like 1 meter crawl spaces, hundreds, like dozens of meters under the earth for funsies. The Nutty Putty Cave incident, very famous one. How about we just fill those up with plastic so people can stop doing stupid shit?
We're actually saving people.
Exactly.
Or we make a Scrooge McDuck style massive vault, but it's just shreds of plastic that you can swim in instead of gold.
Yes. And then we put all of the turtles in there. They can have a fun fucking time.
They could get all up in that plastic. It's gonna be nothing but the stupid like 6-pack plastic containers.
Yep. That they always get stuck around their heads somehow.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, speaking about sort of futuristic inventions, ideas, blah, blah, blah. I started watching a new TV show recently called Foundation. It's a sci-fi series on Apple TV. I'm like 6 or 7 episodes into season 1. And you know this, if you've watched the podcast, you know this. For pretty much my whole life, I've always been very strongly in the camp of fantasy is better than sci-fi. I just find it more
guy.
I just find it more interesting. However, so far in this show, it's starting to not lead me completely to the other side, but it's making me appreciate sci-fi a lot more. However, I think there's some reason. I don't know if this sounds stupid, but I think the best sci-fi feel like fantasy. And I don't necessarily
yes and no. Yes and
I don't necessarily mean like there's magic. I also mean like for me the most interesting parts of sci-fi stories are when like they're on other like alien worlds that feel very fantastical to us. Like I think this cool part, like in the show there's like a main world where like everything's like very like almost like not cyberpunky but very tech intense. There's like 100 billion people on a planet and they just live in like below the surface and like these industrial workloads. There's like a space elevator and like jump ships and all that stuff. But the most interesting part of the show for me is like the more fantasy elements where there's like a alien world where like it's been
alien races like
it's
Avatar.
been flooded like Avatar. There's like an element, a slight spoiler in the show where like one of the girls has the ability to possibly see into the future, which is more of a fantasy element because it's kind of like magical power type thing. But it's a really good show so far. I think one of the coolest elements of it, it's based on Isaac Asimov's novels, if you know that author.
Do not.
Apparently wrote the books. One of the coolest elements, which I've never seen before, is the leadership system of the Empire, which is this giant space organization that over the course of 400 years has taken a colony of like trillions of people, is that the leader, the king, the emperor, is 3 separate people that is the clone of the same person but at different points in his life.
Oh.
Do you need me to break it down?
Do they like... No, I get it. It's that they've... Now, did they clone him all at once and they had the ability to like go back in time? Or is it like he was 12, they cloned him and he stopped aging? He was 25, they cloned him, he stopped aging, and now he's 40, and now there's like 3 of them? Or like how...
So how it worked is 400 years ago, there was an emperor called Cleon the First. When he was about to die, or like at some point throughout his life, they cloned him. But when he was about to die, a new baby was born that was him, a complete genetic perfect copy of him. And then that baby was...
On purpose or on accident?
On purpose.
Okay, yeah.
And then that baby was raised by a android woman that knew the first guy, so she could like teach him how to be like him. And then how I assume it worked is once that baby got to a certain age, they made another clone of him. And then when that emperor got to a certain age, they made another clone. So there's always 3 alive at the same time. And they're called... Okay,
I see.
And they call them they call them Dawn, Day, and Dusk as like the 3 names.
That's sweet.
And whenever the older one dies, or whenever a new baby gets born, the old one gets killed, and then they change ranks. And whoever is Day, the middle one, is always in charge at that point. And then the older one is meant to be
is like an advisor.
Yeah, he's like an advisor, the more wisdomous one. And then they raise the younger one to be like them, and they're all perfect genetic copies. But the point I'm at in the story is that the new youngest one is not a perfect genetic copy. So like there's small things like he's colorblind, the others are not. He's like left-handed, the others are not. So that's what's making the story interesting right now. But it's super, super cool plot line. And like the plot revolves around this mathematician who basically found out a way to predict the future through math. Like predict the future of like societies. Like he could predict like when societies would crumble and fall based off statistics, basically. And they basically saw him as a heretic. And it basically goes into the future of them trying to save the world. It's very interesting. And it's making me change my mind about sci-fi, because I think the ability to like have different planets that have different stages of technological evolution and cool processes and like mysterious, like far advanced technologies that like new tribes of people don't understand, interacting with like, you know, more primitive races. It is very cool.
Yeah, I think where fantasy is really cool in that like you can have different levels of fantasy where like the kind of the lowest level is like, I guess just slightly above medieval times where it's like swords and bows, but maybe there's some little fantastical element to like pure like magic. Like there's kind of, I really feel like it's levels of like magic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Other creatures is kind of where you range in fantasy, but typically it either takes place on Earth or one planet or an Earth-like planet, or, I mean, I guess there's fantasies that are not, but I feel like they tend to just be like a while ago kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas
or
sci-fi,
different dimension sometimes.
Or different dimension, yeah. Whereas like sci-fi is cool because like you get this travel between, you can get travel between different planets. I mean, there's the lowest level of sci-fi of like either it's not that far into the future or it's right now, but someone's made something like more technologically, like a base levels like a book / movie like The Martian.
Yeah, I think that's the sci-fi I find. I think that's the level of sci-fi where like I will enjoy if the story at heart is good, but if this, but like I think like 50 years in the future sci-fi isn't that interesting to me as much as like it used to be. Like, I think like the original Back to the Future's amazing like sci-fi movies. I think they're great. But like you give me a movie that's like 50 years in the future, unless the story behind it is interesting, I don't find it interesting. Whereas like if you give me like thousands of years into the future, like new planets, new civilizations, races, completely like removed from Earth itself, even if the story is less good, I think the concept alone dragged me in more. I think I just like stories that are far removed from our reality is my thing.
Sure. And I think you can like 1,000% get that from sci-fi. It just depends on sci-fi. I mean, you take Star Wars at a base example, which you haven't fucking seen. Completely removed from Earth. It's, you know, they don't have an Earth. They have an Earth, you know, they have a planet like Earth, but they don't have Earth. They have alien races and lightsabers and blasters. Star Trek is kind of similar where it's like they have Earth. They're constantly not on Earth. They're you know, the episodes are kind of either they're going to different planets or they're on that ship and they're like, stuff happens. Star Trek.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is a great example as well, because obviously the MCU is like a bit of sci-fi and fantasy mixed together with like magic as well.
Yeah. It's mostly sci-fi.
It's mostly sci-fi, but like I said, I think like Guardians of the Galaxy is like sci-fi, but then it sometimes feels like, I guess fantasy isn't the word, but it just
like a
feels
space fantasy.
It feels fantastical, I guess is the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Like we have like, it's like everything's like vibrant, very new, unfamiliar. You have colors, powers, magic. Like Ego, the Living Planet is a very interesting concept. Having a guy that like is a god that creates his own planet, or like comes to Earth, has a wife, has a kid, then goes back, makes his own planet that he lives on and controls. That's a very interesting thing that doesn't feel traditionally sci-fi because it's not like a technological thing, at least in that sense, in that situation.
There's a lot. I mean, sci-fi is also it's. I feel like there's a little bit more you can do with it because again, fantasy kind of seems rooted, not entirely, but like kind of seems rooted in like Tolkien. Like most people do that kind of Tolkien-esque Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth style universe. Not everyone does. You get like Brandon Sanderson, who has fantasy, but he's made it in its own way. But like so many people, fantasy is just like some variation of Middle Earth. Do you consider Percy Jackson fantasy? I think I would. It's a modern fantasy. Yeah. We got into this at one point, like ages ago.
I think we did, yeah.
Fantasy.
Yeah, I'd say that's fantasy. Because I think we had the discussion, like, does fantasy have to be something that takes place away from Earth? I don't think so. I think a lot of them do, but it's not necessarily the case. Because, like, you look at... I mean, we talked about this, like, Lord of the Rings, the way Tolkien described it, is Earth in a different... The way he describes it is Earth in a different form of imagination. Like, it's like there's like 4000 BC Earth is what Middle Earth is supposed to be. Like, Middle Earth is like Europe, pretty much. But then
But like, when you take sci-fi, you have like, I mean, it can be set on Earth, something like, even like RoboCop is arguably sci-fi, and that's one where it's like, not really that far into the future, or even just right now, and they've just have the technology to make this RoboCop, and that's kind of about it. Yeah. You take like WALL-E, which is years into the future. Earth is fucking destroyed, like basically just a trash planet, and all these people are on this spaceship and they're all fat.
Cyberpunk, another good example.
Cyberpunk is another good, like, it's on Earth. Cyberpunk's on Earth? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I think it's like a different reality, but I think Night City is meant to be sort of like LA or close to LA-ish.
Okay. And then you take stuff like Star Wars where it's sci-fi, but there isn't an Earth. Like, it's not really, it's, I mean, they do the in a galaxy far, far away, but it's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Isn't Star Wars meant to be in like Andromeda or something?
Honestly, I don't know. Sure. Maybe?
Let me see.
I don't know if George Lucas thought that far ahead.
No, it does say, it says Star Wars Galaxy is a fictional one, but is heavily implied to be our Milky Way galaxy. So in fact, it's not a galaxy far, far away. It's just ours.
That's great.
I mean, the Milky Way galaxy is fucking big. They could be on the other side of it. I mean, like, this is kind of switching topics now, but the universe is so vast that, for all we know, if the universe is truly infinite in size, which it theoretically could be, we think it's probably not, but theoretically it could be infinite, which means if it is infinite, everything within the bounds of physics can happen. And like, while we think we understand physics, we still don't really.
Sure, I mean, we understand an amount of it, but we're still learning.
Like, we don't understand the intersection between quantum mechanics and gravity, which is like the big issue in science right now. It's like the only thing that doesn't fit into the current model of the universe is gravity and quantum mechanics, which is kind of two important things. It's like we don't understand like what happens inside a black hole. Like, we can guess, but we have no fucking idea. So like, if the universe is infinite, everything in Star Wars could actually have happened. It sounds stupid, but it very much could have. And especially if the universe is infinite in both time and space, then everything that can happen will happen. Which is,
I feel like,
very fun.
This is just slowly turning into like one of those YouTube shorts clips of Joe Rogan and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Where Joe Rogan's like, wait, what? And Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, oh, actually, so you could do this. Those
are good clips. I prefer, if you want to learn more about space, the person I'd recommend is Brian Cox. He is a brilliant presenter. Very, very good about space. I like Neil as well, but Neil's definitely more on the side of like trying to make a spectacle out of what he's saying and like really like present it. Whereas Brian Cox is a lot more chill.
I actually took a class of writing and science in college, and we talked about Neil deGrasse Tyson, and we're like, I mean, first of all, like, he is an intelligent scientist, but he's more of a science speaker at this point in time than he is a scientist. So a lot of his speaking isn't him trying to like explain the vast knowledges of life. It's him explaining things to a general audience.
He's like, I feel like the way I see it, is like Neil deGrasse Tyson is the person that says everything in a really cool way to get you interested in the subject, and then when you want to
Yes.
actually learn about it, you go to someone who's more technical.
Yeah.
I think Brian Cox is maybe the next level. He is definitely a science speaker as well at the moment, but he like when he's not doing work, he actually works at the Large Hadron Collider and is like a professor at the University
sweet.
of Manchester, I want to say.
Okay.
So he's like still very active in it,
Yeah.
but there's also just a lot of science channels. Like I think
Not to discredit Neil deGrasse Tyson.
no,
but
he's still a very
like,
smart dude.
He, at this rate, to my knowledge, is mostly doing speaking
And podcasts.
rather than podcast and Joe Rogan's podcast. It's also I think I saw a clip where he was talking about this, where he was like, I did, I don't like a history channel or like a sci-fi channel, like a documentary channel.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I went on and I talked, but they had like me and 6 other scientists on, and then they just cut everyone else's stuff and just kept mine.
Ooh.
And they had like him explaining like other people's stuff. Like I think they had someone read out all the things, and he was like, after that, when I signed contracts and we put other scientists in, he's like, unless it is the Neil deGrasse Tyson show, I am a part of it, not all of it, because it's like you get this kind of going back to sci-fi. You a lot of times get these people who are like, they're geniuses and they know all science. Like you get it with like the Fantastic Four and like Reed Richards.
Yep.
In a real, and you get this in a lot of sci-fi when it's like they're a genius and they know all science. It's like if you had an actual team of the best scientists, you'd have like, I don't know, let's say 10. You'd have a bunch of them and they'd all be specialists, because you can't be the best at everything.
Yeah,
You're the best in quantum physics, and hell, you could probably even narrow it down even further to where they're the best at.
Yeah.
Or like they're the best biologist.
yeah.
And even then, is it human biology? Is it plant biology? Is it mammal biology? Like,
Yeah, like there are many astrophysicists that specialize specifically in like the reactions that happen inside neutron stars, and that's all they look at for the entire career.
yeah.
Or like black
And
hole
it-
physics. You know.
Yeah. There is so much science. You simply cannot be a master of all. And I think that's where, like, with Neil deGrasse Tyson, I mean, I think he's mostly astrophysicist.
Yep.
But like, he talks about a lot of stuff that is just more out of him being a good presenter and a good speaker
Yeah.
than him. I mean, I'm sure he knows it when he says it,
Of course, yeah.
because someone told him.
But like a lot of the famous clips he does, like not to discredit him and not to toot my own horn, but I've listened to so much science stuff. A lot of the very basic like Joe Rogan clips you see from him, I don't think I'd do it as well as him, but I think I could explain the same stuff, because a lot of it is just like the
Sure.
surface level entry stuff of like, yes, the universe had a starting point and there's this cosmic microwave background that we can actually see the start of the universe. A lot of that stuff is very like surface level, at least to people who like actively consume the
I've
content,
gotten into it.
which I have been like listening to stuff like
it's
10
maybe
years
like
now.
not surface level, but it's like just under the
Yeah.
surface.
It's like the first stepping stone to getting into the more complex stuff surrounding astrophysics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't explain any type of like math or calculations behind any of this shit.
Sure.
I could just explain
But the
what there
conceptual
is.
stuff.
Yeah, which is like
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse isn't going on Joe Rogan's podcast and explaining how to formulate the black hole's event horizon based on how we see it from
No,
Earth.
he's not pulling out the blackboard and doing, because no one wants, the regular average person doesn't want to watch that. They don't, even if they're comprehending it, they're like, no, just give me the big picture conceptual stuff. I mean, it's kind of like Bill Nye. I'm going to fact check it right now. I'm pretty sure I saw that Bill Nye isn't a scientist.
That'd be funny.
I think he's a science communicator. I don't necessarily know how much of a scientist he is. Let's see here.
So he mostly just talks about it, but
this
doesn't
is-
actually study it.
Yeah, I mean he's more of like a presenter or communicator
Yeah.
than he is. Let me see what let's see what Wikipedia has to say, because weirdly enough, Wikipedia is, I feel like, is seen as an actual like valid source.
It's better than Google AI,
Longer.
that's for sure.
Google AI is such dog shit. William Sanford Nye is an American science communicator, television presenter, and former mechanical engineer.
So yeah, not a scientist.
Yeah, he began his career as a mechanical engineer for Boeing in Seattle, where he invented a hydraulic resonance suppressor tube. 86, he left Boeing to pursue comedy, writing, and performing for the local sketch television show Almost Live, where he regularly conducted wacky science experiments. So it's not to say he doesn't, like, know science. He was a mechanical engineer, which is like, I mean, it's science adjacent. There's science involved in mechanical engineering. But, like...
I mean, like you said, when it comes
he's
to
a presenter, not
a presenter like that, if you know Bill Nye, this science guy, legend of the scene.
Legend.
He is teaching science for like 7th graders across the spectrum of science. He doesn't need to be an expert in every single thing. It's a lot of basic stuff.
No.
It's like,
He can also read a teleprompter.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you put this chemical into this chemical and it turns it green? Crazy. Sulfur stinks? Well, it's like that sort of basic level stuff. And going back to the point you said before about like, you can't be an expert in everything. I think at one point in time you could, like, or like you could be close to, like, Leonardo da Vinci was known for like being the smartest person in the world in like many, many fields, art, science, math, like he was ridiculous. Nowadays, with how many different fields and how specific the fields get, it's like not
how
possible.
Deep the fields get, it's so impossible. Whereas like knowledge back then was a lot more general, that you could be really smart at a lot of things because it's, you don't have to go that far to hit the ceiling.
Yeah, like did you know that I'm taking this ironically from a Neil deGrasse Tyson TikTok that I've seen many times. But Isaac Newton, who Neil deGrasse and many people regard as the most smartest person of all time, he did a bunch of crazy stuff, you know, graduated Harvard or Oxford or whatever university it was, like 16, all that bullshit. But he was, I think he was maybe one of the first people or somewhere around there to like fully make a formula to calculate the orbits of each planet and explain why they orbit in the way they do. And then someone said, why does, I think it was Neptune or Uranus, whichever one it was, have an orbit that is not, I was like different in some way to the other planets.
It was like a little more elliptical.
Yeah, a little more elliptical than normal. And Isaac Newton said, I don't know, let me get back to you. And to find out why it was like that, he invented calculus to figure out why the planet was like that.
What a bastard for that.
And that was at age 22. So,
oh my God.
Kind of crazy. So like before, I don't know when this was. I think it was like the 1800s maybe.
Yes.
Before that, calculus didn't even exist. So there was like a whole field of math you didn't even have to know, or like you couldn't know. Whereas like now we have that, we have differential calculus, we have more crazy math, I'm assuming, that I don't know well enough. Fucking,
we're wrong.
1700s?
He was born in 1643.
Never mind. Long time ago. Still a long time ago.
Still a long time ago. We know a lot more now. Yeah.
A lot more. Like, we didn't even know fucking... what was I think it was Neptune. We didn't know existed until, like, not too long ago. Like, a few hundred years ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, and I'm sure there's still more we're going to figure out. Like, still to this day, we don't have a telescope strong enough to take, like, a fully clear image of another planet outside of our solar system. I think the James Webb telescope, which, like, released 2 years ago, is, like, close to that point, but I don't think it's there just yet.
Yeah.
Or it's not very clear. You can kind of see outlines of planets. But, like, the way, like, I find it so fascinating the way we, like, judge how far away we see stars in the sky. Because, like, you look at the stars, you're like, they look pretty small up there. They're pretty far away. But, like, how the first person found out how to fucking measure that is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know how they did it?
Did they measure, like, movement in the sky or something like that?
No. So the way they did it is first people had to measure how far away the sun was from the Earth. And then the methodology behind it is the same methodology. So if you hold out your finger in front of you and close one eye and then switch eyes, your finger moves a bit, right?
Yeah.
It like changes a bit because the distance between your eyes. So they basically did that with the Earth. They had a telescope.
Yes.
They had a telescope on Earth pointing at the sun, and then they waited as we orbited around the sun a certain amount. then looked at it again, and then based on the angle, they did some trigonometry, found out where the sun was. And now that we knew the distance between the Earth and the sun, we call that one solar unit of measurement, which is like a few million fucking miles or whatever the fuck. Now that we know that distance, you can do the same thing with every star in the universe and just figure it out. And then for the ones really, really, really far away, you use redshift, which is just light waves becoming longer as light travels. But like, that all sounds so simple to me now, but how people figured out how to do this shit in the first place blows my mind away.
Right.
And like,
I should have, you know, as you're saying, I was like, it's coming back to me. I learned this in high school, and I feel slightly bad that it's not still in the dome. I shouldn't. I haven't used it since, obviously.
Nah.
But I was like, fuck, I did really well in that unit in high school, too.
I didn't even take physics in high school. I did bio.
I know. And I was like, fuck, we learned all of this. It's so cool.
Low-key, I kind of wish I did physics. The only reason I did it is because the math is hard.
Oh, the math is hard. That class fucking killed me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but like it killed me.
Although I think my favorite fact about the way we discover things about other planets and stars is, for the longest time, people say like, oh, this planet could be like Earth. We know there's oxygen there and stuff. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know there's oxygen on a planet 500 light years away? How's that possible?
Yeah.
The way they figure it out is by looking at light, and depending on what specific hues of a color are not present, they can figure out what chemical elements the planet has. So like, for example,
that's sweet.
It's like, for example, I don't know which one it is. This is going to be incorrect, but just go with me. Say a planet has a lot of nitrogen on it, like Earth does. The actual molecule of nitrogen will make certain colors of light not shine through. So you can look at a spectrograph of a planet, and if this very, very specific hue of like orange isn't present, you know nitrogen is present on that planet. Which is like such an interesting thing that I didn't realize was possible.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like based on
I'm
like
just learning today. I'm not even contributing. I'm just learning.
It's like based on if you look at a planet and like a bunch of these like very specific shades of color are gone, you can just find out the chemical makeup of a planet's atmosphere completely.
You're like, this is gone. All right, there's argon, there's hydrogen, a little bit of oxygen in there. That's cool.
Yeah, so I think it's on the moon of, I want to say it's on one of Saturn's moons. We were looking at it, and there's a chemical element that it has that, for what we know, is only created by man-made processes on Earth. It might not be Saturn's moon, be something else, but there was a planet we saw, or a moon we saw, that only is man-made. Has a chemical that we only know to be a man-made thing, or not man-made, but sorry, an organic thing, so like a plankton in the ocean producing it. So we're like, unless there's some other process we don't know, there's life there in some regard, which is pretty sick.
That's cool.
I like space.
Man. Space. See, and this is why you should be more into science fiction.
Yeah.
I also think there's like two kind of realms of science fiction. You get the Star Wars where it's like, it's a space opera more than it is like science fiction. Like there's not really actual science involved. It's just a bunch of like, that'd be cool if there were jetpacks and spaceships and like that kind of stuff. And then you get the ones that are like honestly really rooted in science. I'm trying to think. I mean, The Martian is kind of like
Interstellar,
where it's pretty rooted. Interstellar, where it's like there's a lot of like
mostly rooted in science.
Yeah, like you can obviously fudge it a little bit for the sake of the story, but it's like there's actually quite a like I could be wrong. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson even like contributed to Interstellar.
I know, a lot of scientists did. The only things about Interstellar that are not totally accurate are obviously the wormhole that they travel through is not scientifically proven yet. Based on Albert Einstein's theories, wormholes should exist, but they are probably unstable. So if you actually send something through, it will just break down.
Yeah.
And I think there's something else about like the black hole in the movie not being completely accurate, but it's like pretty close for what we know. And then obviously,
or it's like we don't know if it's accurate because we've never done it.
Yeah, exactly. And like the whole like fourth dimension time travel being love type bullshit, probably not a thing, but like for the sake of the story, it like is fine.
Yeah.
I think that's the sci-fi I do like more because it feels more, it feels like they put like, even when it comes to fantasy, the fantasy stories that are more enjoyable is when they put a lot of world building into it. So like the world building with sci-fi should be like scientific accuracy, or at least like to a degree.
It's scientific accuracy, or it's like new, cool, interesting planets and species and like that kind of stuff. It's because you're right. If it's just like it's sci-fi, but it's just not really based in science, nor is it based in like, I don't know, a cool world building.
A novel idea.
It's like, well, you gotta have a really good story.
Yep.
Which can also work. I mean, like Back to the Future isn't necessarily like based in science.
No, but the story's very cool. It was novel at the time as well. But the story's really
fun. It was also a lot more novel at the time. It's just a fun movie. It's just about a guy who's trying to get his mom and dad to fuck, and he almost gets himself in there.
That is it, yeah.
He almost. God, I think it's John Mulaney did like a stand-up sketch of someone going up to like, I don't know who produced Back to the Future, Universal, Warner Brothers, 20th Century, I don't know. One of them going up to them, being like, I got a movie for you. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, all right, this kid, this high schooler, his best friend is a disgraced nuclear physicist. They're like, okay, that's weird. And they're like, he goes back in time, and they're like, oh my God, to stop Kennedy from being assassinated? They go, no. He's there to fuck his mom. Oh, God. That movie was so stupid when you think about it, but it's so good. Honestly, whole trilogy, I think, is really solid. A lot of people don't like the third one because they're like, the cowboy stuff is stupid.
It is the weakest. Still fun, though.
It's the weakest. They're fun movies. At no point have I sat here and been like, this is like, I feel like there are fun movies. You get like an Avengers movie, and then you get the ones where you're like, this is cinema. This isn't cinema. This is a fun ass movie.
Yeah.
And they're goofy. And he goes into the Wild West. And it's stupid.
And they turn a train into a time machine.
It turns a train into a time machine. I mean, who hasn't?
So real. I feel like we don't get enough of those movies anymore. I feel like too many directors try and make something really serious, or like so overly not serious, where it's just like the most like over the top comedy. I feel like we don't get many like.
Yeah.
It's not a movie that's not serious, but a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. I guess is the way to put it.
I feel like I've said this on this podcast, but I really like bringing it up. Matt Damon did an episode of Hot Ones, and he seems like a smart guy and knows a lot about the industry. I think he's directed a little bit. And he was talking about how in the like 90s and 2000s, you could kind of just make movies. Yep. And like, if you have a good cast, you don't really need to take it that seriously. You make a movie, you make decent money at the box office. Maybe you break even, maybe you're a little under, and then you release a DVD, and you tend to make a lot of money back on DVDs. You get residuals and you get all that. And like, you could make these movies that are like not too serious, I don't want to say not thought or like well thought of, but you're like, I have the general story, let's let these people improvise. Whereas nowadays, there's no DVD sales.
Barely, yeah.
No one's buying DVDs for the most part. So that doesn't help them. There's also like a lot of times these movies goes to streaming way too early.
Or they go to streaming, so like, they don't really fucking taken off for no reason.
Yeah. It's also on streaming, the amount you make. Like, if I watch a movie on a streaming platform, I don't know, I'm maybe contributing like 1/10 of a cent to the movie. Like, it's probably such an abysmally like small number.
Yeah, because imagine.
Whereas if I buy a DVD, I don't remember how much DVDs cost. Let's say, I think I've seen them in the like $20 range at Walmart for some reason.
Yeah.
Let's say I spent $20 on it. That's $20 that goes back to the DVDs.
Or maybe like 15.
Some of that goes to Walmart. Maybe it's, some of it goes to Walmart, but like, that's a good amount of money per person that has bought that. Now, of course, I bought it. I have it now. I can't give you any more money. But how many times am I going to watch one movie for it to be the same amount of money on streaming that it equates to me buying the DVD once?
Yeah, exactly. And especially on streaming services, when there's so much choice just at your fingertips, there's hundreds of movies that probably barely get any watches because like a more popular one is sitting right next to it. you know, which is,
I will say people are going to the movie theaters less.
yep.
Things cost more. So it's like you almost like going into a movie. You kind of have to know it's gonna make money.
Yeah.
And so you can't come in and be like, I want to pitch this movie. Here's me and 5 guys that are really funny. This is the general idea. Give me money. Let's do it. Because I think to some degree they kind of did that. I mean, all Adam Sandler movies are like him and a bunch of his friends dicking around. Obviously not, they have plots, but like those things made money. And it's like a lot of it is improv, and a lot of comedies especially are improv, where it's like, it's harder to go to a studio exec, especially if you're not super like massive or you can't back it yourself, and go, hey, I need $100 million for this casual comedy.
Yeah, like you're not gonna get a Wedding Crashers or a Dumb and Dumber, a new version of those like nowadays.
Yeah,
because
it's difficult.
Especially
that
with untrusted actors.
Came out. Yeah.
Yeah, the Naked Gun.
The Naked Gun movie came out with Liam Neeson, and it was great, and it had that vibe of like, silly, not very serious, quick. It was like under 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 120, hour 28. Just a lot of jokes. Story didn't really matter, but like funny cast, and it went well. That's also backed by existing IP, big name actors, good marketing.
I was going to say,
marketing is also another factor that has to come into it.
I was going to say, for the movies, like they do still exist, but they're pretty much all like direct to streaming. Like you have movies like, maybe they're in cinemas, but like the Heads of State movie with John Cena and Idris Elba sort of has that vibe. Big name actors straight to Amazon Prime. You had Ricky Stenicki, John Cena, Andrew Santino, Zac Efron, and the other actor, I can't remember his name. I don't, again, it may have been in movies, but pretty much straight to streaming as well.
I don't think it was.
Straight to stream. A lot of them are just like straight to stream, big name actors, a lot of advertising. That's kind of all it is. The only movies you really get in cinemas now are like the blockbuster movies.
Yeah, like the ones that are like, I will make money. But even then, like Superman was, a lot of people watch that big movie. It's DC, Marvel are always kind of, they're in the current realm of blockbuster. We'll see kind of how long that lasts. Superman came out. I think within 2 months of it releasing in theaters, it was on HBO. I could watch it now if I wanted to.
Yep. That's like why when Thunderbolts came out, when Sinners came out, yeah, it would have been cool to watch them, but I'm like, if I wait a month, they'll be on streaming. It'll be fine.
Exactly.
The only reason I really go to a cinema now is if it's a movie where I really want to avoid spoilers, or if it's a movie I'm like so invested in, I have to see it now. Like when the new Spider-Verse comes out, I will go to see it like straight away. When Superman came out, I went to see it straight away. When Fantastic Four came out, see it straight away. But like other movies, like even if I know they're going to be really good, if like they're not like a big spoiler movie, or I don't care, I'll just wait.
Yeah. It's also the price of movie theaters are incredibly expensive because not enough people are going. Like over the summer, I did the like AMC subscription just because it's fun. There's a lot of movies over the summer, and it was, I think they upped their price this year, but it was like $26 a month. It's like, okay, that's like the cost. That's a pretty good, decent cost for a subscription. Like that's not cheap. It's not a lot either. If I go to 2 movies a month, it would be more expensive if I flat paid for those 2 movies than the $26. If I go to like one IMAX showing, like primetime Friday night, that might be $26. I don't know. It's probably like
and bro, you're not
20.
like tickets aren't even the expensive part. It's the food now that is the expensive.
If you
shit.
want look. People be like, Chad, you want to support theaters? Like, why are you doing this? I don't care. I'm bringing in my own food. The movie theater workers do not care. I'm rattling like Reese's Pieces like in my pocket. I got this massive square in my shorts pocket. Like,
Chad.
Yeah, I'm bringing candy in.
What was that chocolate you said?
Reese's.
Say it fully.
Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
I say Reese's Pieces.
You did say that, yes.
I did, yeah. I don't know why I did that. Reese's.
Good man.
That's fine.
Good man. I think
Yeah.
I'm the type of man, I can't watch a movie without having popcorn and a Coke or Pepsi. It's just ingrained into my soul.
is
I went to the
nice.
cinemas. It was when I saw Fantastic Four, actually. And this is Australian prices. For 2 tickets, 2 popcorns, a Pepsi, and a frozen Pepsi, it was like 80 Australian dollars.
Which I think to USD is like
50, 55, 60.
55. Yeah, something like that.
That's insane.
That's crazy. That's going out to dinner.
Yeah.
And this is not dinner quality food.
No.
It's
This
not to
is-
say it's bad, but like
popcorn's got to be one of the cheapest foods in the, like, surely.
I mean, outside of butter, it has like no calories.
Yeah. It's like nothing.
It's not satiating.
And Coke isn't expensive either, but that's expensive at stores now as well. Like, obviously Australian prices, a 630 milliliter bottle of Pepsi Max at my local grocery store is $4.10.
Why is it 630 milliliters? That
Oh.
feels so specific.
Whatever the regular bottle size is.
Oh, okay. I just like,
Yeah, so $2.80 for a bottle of Pepsi.
yeah.
Is it 630? It's 600 milliliters, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I think the cans are 330 maybe.
630 is so weirdly.
Yeah, the cans are
That's so
375.
weirdly- I'd be curious if that's relative to something else in the States that makes more sense, like in a different measurement. Like, is that like a 12 fluid ounces kind of a thing?
No, it was 600, not 630. I just got it wrong.
Ah, okay, sure. Yeah, one of my coworkers like went over to the gas station across the street to get an energy drink. He's like, "You want anything?" I'm like, "Give me like a Snickers candy bar. Like that sounds kind of nice." He comes back and he's like $3, and I'm like, "What the fuck?
Yep.
What do you mean it was $3? That's insane. This should be like $1 or less."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If a chocolate bar is if it's a bar, like a bar, shouldn't be
Yeah.
any more than $1.50 at most.
Yeah. Thank God for Arizona iced tea and Costco
Oh, hell
for
yeah.
keeping their values.
Well, legends.
And IKEA. I went to IKEA. I'm sure some of their other stuff is more expensive. They were selling hot dogs for $1.
Nice.
Big ups to IKEA. Speaking of which, I'm gonna beautifully segue into IKEA. I don't think you can actually see this. And one might say, Chad, you're going to edit this podcast. You could simply move the camera around. I probably won't. There's 2 chairs behind me. One of them is my girlfriend. One of them
Weird
is
flex,
mine.
okay.
Sorry. One of them is mine. And then I'm sitting in another chair. Chad, why do you got 3 chairs in this room? There's only 2 people that live in your household. Your
There's a
cat doesn't
cocktail.
have a chair. It
There's the cuck chair in the corner.
No, it's not
Well,
a cuck chair.
Actually, from my point of view, there's actually 4 chairs in the room. There's like a bar stool chair in the back as well.
There is a bar stool. That is for my girlfriend's sewing. There's another chair. There's a lot. There's a
How
lot
many
of
fucking
chairs in
chairs
this
do you
room.
have, bro?
There's a chair over here that's like more of a lounge chair. Okay, there's a lot of chairs in this room.
It's
I
the
need to
cuck
throw this
waiting
chair
room.
away.
They rotate in
It's-
and out. They just sit in there.
But no one's getting anything. It's just cucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, this chair behind me. There we go. That's where I'm pointing. That was the chair that I used to use. I mean, you don't really see my chair. It's a standard black desk chair.
From
So
IKEA.
I'm playing video games. I was playing Peak the other night, like a week ago.
Yep.
With my girlfriend and some friends. And I'm leaning, and I've had this chair for like 4 years probably. And then all of a sudden, my right arm just like slips. And it's that the bolt that holds in the right arm broke. So I went to IKEA, and I went in there, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend an exorbitant amount of money. I'm going to pick one on the cheaper end. I'm going to get that one, and I'm not going to sit in the really nice expensive one, and I'm not going to be tempted by it. So I did that. I sat at all the like, $80, $100. I'm like, okay, I'm like kind of okay.
All
like,
right, you know.
I gotta break it in, but it's all right. And then I'm like, this $300 chair comes up, and I was like, this kind of looks similar to the other ones. I didn't know it was $300.
Gotcha.
It looked like they all look the same, except for some of the ones that are like ultra gamer chairs, which I feel like are a scam. Like it feels like they throw on the gamer look and they're like $500, but it's not more comfortable. So I sit in this chair. I have not looked at the price tag. It looked like some of the other $100 chairs. I sit down. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, it leans back. The arms move in kind of a fun way. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I flip the little price tag, and I'm like, oh god, it's just $300. And for like 5 minutes, I go back and forth between this chair and the $100 chair, and I am trying to convince myself that I like this $100 chair. I bought the $300 chair.
Dude, I want to see which one it is. Do you know what it's called?
It's called the center half, but it's so center spelled like in English, HALV instead of an F. Weirdly, one of the least kind of IKEA kind of names.
Yeah, I was gonna say
still very an IKEA name. It looks very standard, is the thing, which is why when I sat in it, I was like, "There's no way this is an expensive one." Like it looks really normal. The entire time I'm like, I'm not gonna end up buying an expensive chair. I'm gonna buy a normal chair. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna buy a normal chair. It's not gonna be expensive. I fully was like, this chair is so nice. It's good. It like all the other ones felt like stiff.
Yeah.
For some reason. Like the $100 chair, I felt like I had to stand upright was like the furthest I could lean back.
Yep.
Kind of a thing. Like I felt like I was like this the whole time, and I'm like, I need to be able to lean.
Honestly,
so I bought it.
As someone that sits in a chair a lot, having one that's good is really important and comfortable, because I'm standing right now, partially because I should, partially because I'm kind of getting fed up with my chair a little bit. So my chair, yeah, I'll bring it over.
He's bringing it over.
You can kind of see. So it's...
You can't see it. Well, at least not in Discord. I don't... Yeah, it's a chair.
It's a chair. I fucked up the back. It's fine. So it's an ergonomic chair from a brand in Australia, and no shit on the brand or anything. The ergonomic aspects of like the back and headrest are all good. But the thing I don't like about this chair is that the seat itself is mesh, not like a leather or foam. Now,
yes, that is the one thing I do not remember if you could see this. Let's say you can. This is leather, and I fucking love it. I find it more comfortable. The one I'm sitting in now is mesh, and it's good. Leather's kind of nicer.
Yeah, so I don't mind mesh on the back, but mesh on the seat, I don't know if it's because I'm like getting close to like the weight limit or something, but when I sit down on it, I can like feel like the metal bar under it when I'm sitting on the mesh, and it's not very comfortable. Like a nice leather cushioned seat is really nice to sit in. This one is not as comfortable for me. So it kind of just gets sore sitting there after a while. So for a while I've been thinking, kind of want to get a new chair. And it was funny you brought up gaming chairs, because the one I've been looking at is a Secret Lab Titan Evo, which is like 800 AUD or something. Expensive. However, the reason I'm tempted to get it is because it says it's specifically made for people who are like between 190 and 210 centimeters. And I'm a large boy, so helpful for me. It's also completely leather, which is, very comfortable.
That's nice.
And it just looks cool.
Also, like, you work in your home office, so it's like an investment. That's where I sat here, was like, look, I spent a bunch of money on an office chair. And honestly, there were more expensive office chairs. I was maybe really more in the mid-range. But I see this as like, I play games all the time, and like we record and, we do all this stuff. Like, feasibly speaking, this chair should last a long time. It's IKEA, and IKEA tends to make like good quality stuff. I feel like it, like this. This chair behind me, I think I got for like $100 because I was a college student and I didn't have any fucking money. And so and that lasted 4 years. So I'm hoping I get something out of this. Dan, that was seamless. They'll never know that you just left the Discord call.
Yeah.
Unless you said something on your side.
No, I just stayed silent, and I was hoping you just kept talking because you completely cut out for me. I'm sure it made a lot of sense, though.
I did keep talking, and it wasn't that interesting.
Fantastic. Yeah. So
I hope this thing will last long. That's all I really said.
I searched up the chair you have. Looks good. Not available in Australia right now, so that's kind of annoying.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm going to look into getting a new chair. I may have it because I think, like I was talking about earlier in the podcast, I think setting myself up for GTA 6 is really important, both in terms of like working with an editor, getting better health, getting a better seat and setup. I just need to be in the perfect scenario for it. So any like small investment that I can make into my health or setup that I think is going to make it a better time for me, I'm going to be doing. Like the glasses, the blue light glasses were expensive. They're like $100 for the pairs because they're like high quality blue light blocking glasses.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it if it's going to help me. Chair, even if it's $800, hey, I can write it off as a business expense.
True. I mean, it's also like you texted me last week. Oh, sorry. My mic made a noise. Or the springs on my mic made a noise.
Cool.
You texted me last week and you're like, hey, you texted me like not enough time before the podcast where I was like, you should be asleep at this point. Cause US, Australia, we record at weird times. And you were like, I probably won't get on. My head hurts so bad. And so your head not hurting is pretty cool.
Would be nice,
and it's definitely worth investing in. Just investing in your health. General life tip, that's good.
Good thing.
And especially for like your job, obviously, if you don't feel good, you don't work, probably. Or like work sucks. And maybe, you don't put 100% in.
Yeah, so I've been like finding little strategies to help me. Even like one thing I've been doing past few days is like when it gets late at night, I'll turn down the brightness of my computer monitors like quite a bit. So it's like very dim so the lights don't hurt as much.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Obviously when I'm recording like a podcast or something, I have bright lights on. I can technically change them to like this, which is still fine. It looks a little bit lower quality, blurrier, different color, but like it is better for my eyes. So if it's more sustainable, probably a smart thing to do. Getting outside is nice, good idea.
Getting outside is pretty cool. I know. I think I texted you. I was like, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to not look at my screen for like 2 days. I'm like, yeah, man, go outside, go on a walk. You're like, so it's thunderstorming. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. Is what it is.
Yeah. Moral of the story, everyone, look after yourself.
Yes, look after yourself. Now, Chad, I think you had a story to tell that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, I got a story to tell. All right. This cracks me up so much. So we're hitting the age where we're in our mid-20s. Oh, God. Where we're going to weddings. I was going to say I'm going to weddings. You went to a wedding semi-recently. Me a little more so.
Semi-recently as in 2.5 years ago, but yes.
Was it really that long ago?
It was before I moved into this apartment.
I thought it was way sooner. Okay, never mind.
No.
Weddings are happening.
Yeah.
And so I went to 2 last month. And I discovered something very interesting. Essentially, I got to go to this venue. I was a little early, so I got to see a little more of the venue. And it's like typically in like a wedding venue, you might have more of like the main area. You have the ceremony area. You have like, the cocktail area where you eat dinner and all that. And you have kind of a main area where everyone can go. And then you have kind of like a backstage area where you get like the bridal party goes and they can go and set up, but like no one else really goes up there. And so we're at this venue and it's like, okay, they have like a setup for like the groom and his like, groomsmen.
Yep, groomsmen.
Yeah, you get like the bride and her bridesmaids. And they had like a little like meeting area in between. So if they wanted to hang out before like, they all got dressed and everything, they could hang out. And then there was another room that was like, it was just for the bride and groom. It's like, okay, that's nice. It had they had like a vanity. They could like take pictures. They can have his own bathroom. And it's like, really only they go in there. And there was a bed. And I look at it at first, I was like, oh, do you guys get to like stay the night? And they're like, no, we have to be out by like 10. And I was like,
Right.
okay.
So what's the bed there for?
So what's the bed there for? And then I realized this venue had a fuck room.
That's
I'm like,
beautiful.
Like, I was trying to come up with other reasons there'd be a bed in this private room. And I'm like, well, I guess you could like take pictures and it could be fun pictures. You guys are like both lying there in your like fancy outfits or something. And then I was like, nah, I think this is just a fuck room. They're like, yeah, it's a nice space. Like the day of coordinator will bring them up there and it's, they'll do their ceremony and then, they'll have like 15, 20 minutes to themselves to,
Fuck.
Did say that, but they were like, a lot of times the bride and the groom don't have a lot of time by themselves. This gives them a little bit of time to, soak it all in and talk about it. And I was like, yeah, but you put a bed in there.
Yeah. Could have just been like
and
a couch or something.
Could have been a couch. And I'm like, does the day of coordinator just kind of stand outside and they're like, can't go in there? It's like, why? Fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know how standard of a thing this is in venues, but it just cracked me up because I'm like, that's a bed. They put a bed in here.
Do the other rooms have beds or was it just that one?
No.
Yeah, it's definitely a fuck room for sure.
I'm like, I think this is, good. Yeah, good for them.
You open a drawer and there's just 1,000 condoms.
Ton of condoms, lube.
There's like whips
weird
and chains.
Toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all decked out.
There's like a button and like a whole like thing pops out. There's like in the closet, there's just like a gimp suit. Like and I want to say, I like the idea that this all comes out and the venue is like very not that vibe.
Yeah, it's very normal.
Like it's all like white and like bright and lots of like windows. And then you go to this room and it's just like leather, like dominatrix.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fuck room.
Interesting.
I like calling it that.
No, that's a good name. I think we should have, every house, we have the living room, we have the kitchen, we have the dining room, we have the bedroom. We should have a fuck room in every, not a bedroom, I just want to specify. Every house should have a designated fuck room. Yeah.
First of all, there's definitely people that have that.
Oh, for sure.
Richer people that can just have a spare room for sex. P. Diddy. I think that was just the whole house, actually.
Yeah, P. Diddy only eating 4 years in jail is kind of crazy.
That is crazy. I saw that. Also, I didn't realize that man had gray hair.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the sketches and I was like, I don't know, in my mind, he's like not that old, but I'm like, nah, he definitely, he is. He was making music like a lot longer ago than I was thinking he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild. Anyways, guys, moral of the story here. At some point I said, watch after your health. Fuck that. Forget that. I throw that away. I don't care. Whatever. Go get yourself a fuck room.
Yeah, don't invest money in a new chair or glasses or new shoes or gym, subscription. Spend $20,000 on a fuck room.
Yeah, just get that fuck room.
Build a new room in your house for the fuck room.
Even if you're a rental.
Yeah, just do it anyways.
The landlord will appreciate.
They'll thank you. They'll actually reduce your rent by a significant margin.
They'll ask to use it.
Yeah. They will.
Yeah.
And if you don't have anyone to use it with, you can rent it out. A new way to make some income.
True. Passive income.
Exactly. That's going to be the new thing. When governments finally clamp down on owning Airbnbs, instead people will make fuck rooms and sell them to people to use.
At what part of the chain are we getting to prostitution? Like, how close are we? Because I feel like that's where we're going.
So the next step is that you
accident.
The next step is that you have a fuck room and you also hire someone to live there at all times, and then you invite people to come in and use it with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a fuck room and a designated fucker to help with the process.
Not a prostitute, by the way.
No, not a prostitute.
They're a consultation specialist.
Yeah, exactly.
In Colorado, mushrooms are decriminalized. Maybe you can sell them. I don't think you can. I've seen flyers that were put up that were like, mushroom consultation, 5-minute consultation, $30 plus free gift of mushrooms. And it's like, I'm not selling you mushrooms. I happen to be giving them to you. You're just giving me $40 for a 5-minute consultation session.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a really funny and stupid way of getting around.
Great loophole.
Selling drugs.
Yeah.
Good loophole.
Very nice.
So yeah, buy that fuck room. Get that mushroom consultation.
Is that a way to get around prostitution? If you make a fuck room in your house and then rent the room out to a girl, but then she has to pay you money to use it for her to have sex in, is that legal prostitution? Have I found a loophole here?
Dan, we might be onto something.
New business
Guys, this
idea.
might be our last video. I think we've hit the jackpot here.
Yeah. We just need to find a willing participant and a house that we can build a fuck room in.
All right. We're onto something here.
Think so. Yeah. We'll be back. If you
We'll be back.
We'll have a form and description if you want to join.
Is this how we start getting weird comments?
Yeah. The whole comment section is going to be like, so you can either sign up to be the fucker or the fucky. Your choice.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know which one's which exactly, but we'll figure it out.
Sure, yeah. Guess we're ending on that.
Yeah.
Bye?